Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here for some more Hearthstone Arena action. I've been away for a long time and, well, I don't really want to apologize per se. It's not like I do this for a living or anything. I do have my life to lead and I'm proud to lead it. But at the same time, I am kind of sorry that I've been away for so long and I'm really happy to be back to playing Hearthstone. Basically, I'm seeing someone new, and my job's been sucking meteoric quantities of donkey dong, and my friend was in town, so all this stuff's going on. So anyway, I should be going part-time within the next couple of months or so if things go well, and then I will finally have a lot more time to devote to this channel. So here with our first epic pick, I'm playing Priest, by the way, because I have a daily quest for it, and I've let those really pile up. I need to get rid of them. This is potentially a really devastating card. It's a Chillwind Yeti that can steal an opponent's minion. I mean, at the same time, Sea Giant, though, is just so good. I don't know, I'm just going to take Sea Giant. I feel like that's such a good epic, you almost never want to pass it. I can take a good 5-drop here, or Holy Smite for some early removal. I will take the Holy Smite here. It's nice to have removal. That's direct damage. Here, I don't want to take the Murloc Tidehunter because it's pretty bad nowadays with Unleash the Hounds and pretty much every class having good answers to this thing. So it's between the Cleric or the Knight. Good 4-drops do win games, but I want to have some buffs, so we'll take the Shattered Sun Cleric. Oh, this is terrible. This is beyond terrible. Well, we'll just take the generic 2-3 for 2 and call it a day. Okay, do I take a 6-6 here, or do I take the Gnomish Inventor for the card? Well, I'll take the 6-6. It's important to have an endgame, I think, as Priest. Okay, Mind Vision's certainly fun, but Sen'jin Shieldmaster is just so good on so many levels. You have to kind of take it. And here's a tricky one. I don't think I want the Lightwell. Shadow Madness can sometimes be a 2-for-1, but having played with it a bunch, I do find that there are quite a few cases where it is just sort of bad removal. The Cobra is a lot more consistent in some ways. I'm going to take the Cobra. I know it must sound crazy, but really just having like a thing that you drop it on the board and your opponent can't play anything big until they kill it is pretty sweet. Stormwind Champion, no thanks. It's between the Hunter or the Stormwind Knight. Both are very solid cards for their mana level. So which one do I prefer? Well, I think we'll take the Knight. It can act as removal as well, so we'll do that there. Okay, the Wolf Rider's fine, but I want some more 2-drops, and the Wolf is a pretty decent one for some more buffing. I do like buffing. Uh-oh. Light Warden is so bad. Guys, it is so bad, I am not even going to take it playing Priest. I just think that card is so terrible, it can't even be overstated. So, the Mana Wraith is alright, but we'll take Mass Dispel. I don't like that card, but it does cycle at least, so, in the worst case, I can, you know, get some use out of it and draw a card. Okay, Power Word Shield is fine. I'm going to take Thought Steal, though. It is card advantage to a greater degree than Power Word Shield is. Because you actually go up a card rather than just cycling. Now, this is this fine card, the Sun Fairy Protector, but I'm not going to pass on a chance for the Soul Priest. It's really good. Turns your hero ability into the best hero ability into the game, and then if it dies, you know, you can eventually go back to healing yourself, which is nice. You get to have your cake and eat it. Boy. Well, I don't really want any of these. I hate this Pyromancer so much. Don't really want to take the Arcane Golem, though. I'd rather honestly play with a Wolf Rider most of the time. And the Abomination can be really good against aggro, but other times it's just unplayably bad. I hate having cards that sometimes are unplayably awful. Okay, we'll just take the cheap 2-drop then and hope it doesn't interfere with me. Okay, so you have to consider Circle of Healing when you play with Soul Priest, because it does turn this into a 0-mana around-the-board Flame Strike. The problem is that if I don't have a Soul Priest in my hand or it's already been played, it's basically just a dead card. Inner Fire, blech. I don't have any combos with Inner Fire at the moment. Stormwind Knight, and I guess Temple Enforcer. But I passed on those Lightwells, so it's going to be dead most of the time. God, do I take the Warden? That's so sad. Yeah, I'll take a Warden. It's the playable card there. I could take this guy. I don't like him very much. We'll take another Thought Steal, though, for some more card advantage. Okay, now that I've got card advantage, I don't need this Acolyte. Do I take the Fairy Dragon here for another solid 2-drop, or do I take this to have a 1-drop in here? Let's take the Fairy Dragon. I'll be passing on turn 1. That seems fine. Okay, so here is a tough choice. I could go for the endgame with Mind Control. I could go for this just because I don't have anything big at all. I have 1 6-drop and then the Sea Giant. But I'm going to take the Farseer, and the reason for that is it goes really well with the Soul Priest. Turns the Farseer into a mini Fire Elemental, and some more healing is really nice as well, even though I'm a Priest. Okay, do I take Sea Giant number 2 or Shadow Form? Shadow Form is certainly a fine card. But I will take another Sea Giant because I need endgame, and I don't really have it. So let's just get like the highest quality stuff we can. Panda is helpful with the Farseer and with the Shattered Sun Cleric, I guess. I could recharge with the Stormwind Knight. So the Panda could be playable, but I have a bunch of 2-drops. This is starting to get a little bit too many. We'll take another 6-drop for some endgame goodness. Oh god, Light Warden. Well, Twilight Drake's fine at least, so we'll grab that there. Okay, so I think I have enough buff in this deck. With the Dire Wolf, the Shattered Sun Cleric, and the Temple Enforcer. Granted, the Temple Enforcer doesn't buff attack. So I don't really feel that pressure to take this Dwarf. I don't think I need any more of these guys. We'll take this, we'll just fill up the curve. Mainly my concern with the healer is that it is a non-bow with the Soul Priest, because it causes your entire team to get burned. But it would be nice to have some 5-drops, and that's a Chillwind Yeti, which is pretty solid. Looks like I get another chance for Dark Iron Dwarf. Is it that or the Power Word Shield? For a relatively safe 1-mana cycler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a lot of 4-drops. Good 4-drops do win games, though. If I had Northshire Clerics, I would take this to protect the Northshire Cleric, but since I don't want to do that. Inner Fire goes well with Mogushin Warden, but I don't want to go for that combo. We'll take a Dark Iron Dwarf. MVP Nightblade here is not going to get taken. Stormwind Knight, now I have a bit too many 4-drops because I took things like the Warden, and now the Dwarf, and the Soul Priest. A bit too many of these 4-drops. We'll take the Stormpike Commando for some quasi-removal and a 5-drop. Dalaran Mage could be alright, but all it currently works with is Holy Smite. I don't have any Holy Novas. This is terrible. We'll take another Ogre. So, okay, we have a lot of endgame now. Oh god, we have a lot of endgame. Do we have too much endgame? Nah, I mean, I'm going to take Ogre over this trash. So, yes, we'll take the Ogre there. Here, we got to shore up. Okay, now with 2 Sea Giants and all these 6-drops, I don't need the Mind Control, I don't think. I guess I could take 1 just to have it. No, you know what? Let's shore up our early game. Let's grab a Hunter here. Oh wow, I haven't seen any Shadow Words. That's a notable omission. And I don't want any more Ogres. That's starting to be too many Ogres. If I had not taken these Temple Enforcers, I could take the Ogres now, but that's too much. Let's take a 4-drop here. And oh god. Well, I don't want Silence. Not when I already have Mass Dispel. So Thoughtsteal number 3. And the only playable is Violet Teacher there. Okay, so this draft, I don't know. It has a good endgame. Not like the greatest endgame ever, like not like better than any other deck conceivable, but certainly with 2 Ogres, 2 Enforcers, and 2 Sea Giants, I'm pretty good for big drops. I don't really miss not having Mind Control here. The curve is a bit skewed, I think, to the 4-drop, but then again, 4-drop is where you have really the sweet spot. They're big enough that they can contend somewhat in the endgame, but they're cheap enough that they don't have to drop out too late. You can like play 2 of them on turn 8 and stuff like that. So I don't know, this deck seems alright. I mean, I don't have any Holy Nova, which hurts. I only have 1 Shadow Word Pain, which hurts, and no Shadow Word Deaths, which hurts. So, yeah, there's definitely some issues with this deck. Okay, well, take mulligan the Sea Giant for later, but keep everything else. This seems fine. Actually, we got a very, very, very nice early hand. I cannot stress that enough. This is extremely fortunate because I do mostly have just like 4-drops and stuff in my deck. So the fact that my opening hand has 2 2-drops and 2 3-drops is quite fortunate. So I'm gonna drop a Fairy Dragon. This is, it's a tricky call. I mean, on the one hand, Paladins couldn't really kill this wolf anyway. It's just that if he played like a 3 toughness creature, I didn't want this wolf to be outclassed. This is really an interesting situation. So I could, of course, kill the 2-1 and then play the wolf. If I play the 1-1 and then the wolf, then the 2-1 can kill my wolf. That's actually fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll do this. So let's hit there. Let's play the wolf. Note that I couldn't heal this Fairy Dragon because the Fairy Dragon cannot be targeted by hero powers. That includes my own. But I could target it with the Farseer if it is still alive after this turn. Actually, this Murloc Tidehunter, I mean, this really shows why I like this card to begin with. Because it was really good there. Like, it damaged my Fairy Dragon and killed off my wolf. It's pretty good for a 2-drop, you know? But in other cases, it's not as good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to just keep my opponent's board clear. As we all know, don't let Paladins keep creatures. Thoughtsteal is a little weird. I actually wish I could draw cards from my own deck rather than from my opponent's, because I know my cards are really good. Okay, hang on, I have options. I could kill this thing and then heal it. Lets me play a Bloodsail Raider. Or I could play this. Yeah, let's just play this. So, a little bit of a risk leaving my guy unhealed, but Against a Paladin, the difference between 3 and 1 is not actually that big. Their main removal spell is Hammer of Wrath, which kills us anyway. And Consecration is really now. This will die to Consecration. But he's not going to want to play Consecration here, not with this Warden out and about. Arcane Golem is not the most helpful card for him unless he can buff this with the Blessing of Might, which he can't. So he's given me a Mana Crystal, which shouldn't be irrelevant, I don't think. Mass Dispel, not helpful. Okay. Well, I think here I will just heal... Hang on. Okay, running through my options, I can heal the Warden. At 5 health, you can actually kill the Arcane Golem and survive. The problem then is that I can't get rid of this 1/1. If I want to kill the 1/1, one of my guys has to die. And that would be this guy. I'm not going to run him into a 1/1 though, am I? Just to play around stuff? That seems silly. No, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to heal this so I can kill the 1/1. I will let the Warden die. And we will play the Cobra. I would have liked to play Thoughtsteal and something else, but I couldn't. Not with 4 mana. 4 mana was an awkward amount of mana. Couldn't use that extra crystal from the Golem. There's a Hammer of Wrath to kill my Cobra. He gets some card advantage out of the deal as well, which is unfortunate. Hopefully he just makes a recruit, and he does. That means my healing this earlier was nice. I can kill off this recruit. Not letting him keep any creatures. Stormpike Commando, interesting, but no, let's actually Thoughtsteal right now. That's terrible, and that is also terrible. That was an awful, awful Thoughtsteal. Oh my lord. Well, let's do this. And I guess we'll, you know, make do with what we got. Do I heal this or do I play the Infiltrator? Let's play the Infiltrator. So yes, a Consecration, and I guess I might as well play Noble Sacrifice while I'm at it. So Consecration will kill 2 of my minions, but that's like more than half of his turn, and this guy survives. So I'm okay with a Consecration, I think. That was an awful Thoughtsteal. It would have just been better if I could draw cards from my own deck. He's got Avenging Wrath, which is better than Consecration. It takes up the whole turn, but it will probably kill off everything. It was really unlikely for my stuff to survive. So he had a 3-for-1 right there. That's bad. Well, let's play Violet Teacher. And Thoughtsteal, getting a 1/1. Normally you draw cards first, but I wanted to get that 1/1. I got an Ogre from his deck and another Infiltrator, so he had a lot of 1-drops, at least 2. And I guess it's lucky that I didn't get them, but I really wish I could have actually gotten real stuff. So now Mass Dispel sucks a little bit less. It actually draws me a card and gives me a 1/1, assuming, of course, Violet Teacher lives. And then there's an Ogre, which is incredibly good at this stage. Luckily, Noble Sacrifice is pretty good. It stops the Ogre from wrecking my shit, which is something I appreciate. Akanai Soul Priest, Well, as interesting as that is, I'm kind of inclined to play my own Ogre, I think. I want to get this big boy down. Yeah, let's get this down. I don't want to throw any of my stuff away, particularly, so we're just going to go ahead and kill that recruit. Heal up. Swing, putting the first damage on the board here. And then this Noble Sacrifice will delay the Ogre. And the damage, well, at 5 health, unfortunately, I can't quite heal this thing, but... Okay, well, luckily, that doesn't buff its health. So that's fine. He's really going all out here. Okay, so the Noble Sacrifice pops that Divine Shield. So I traded a Noble Sacrifice for a Hand of Protection, which is a perfectly fine trade. This I don't really care about in the slightest. So let's think. How do we handle the situation? Well, I think this Ogre needs to die. I don't think I can kill him. I got 9, 11, 12 damage. Yeah. So I think I need to kill this Ogre. Question is how? You know, I could use Mass Dispel, but I could also just kill this thing with my Violet Teacher. I could shoot this thing down to 5 health. That doesn't help. So I could just hit the... yeah, okay. We're going to do Mass Dispel, because what Mass Dispel does is it eliminates the Ogre's attack bonus. And that is important because it allows my Ogre to run in without dying. Now I can play Soul Priest, burn off the Ogre, and think, if I hit this thing, I'll go down to 3 health. That's actually fine. I was going to say, if I were going down to 2 health, I wouldn't want to do that because I wouldn't want a Consecration to kill off everything, except for my Soul Priest. But at 3 health, it survives a Consecration now. gonna play a Panda, that's pretty innocent. And a Windfear Harpy. Well, these are big dudes, but I think I'm actually in good shape now. Sea Giant, oh yes. Yes, please. Alright, how do we do this? Remember, I have the Akanai Soul Priest in play, so the Darkscale Healer is not playable right now. That would actually be a catastrophic play. It would kill off my entire team. I almost did that, too. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is play the Twilight Drake before it gets any smaller. I can't actually play this. I don't have any room. Let's go ahead and throw that down. Shoot it. Oh my gosh, I messed up. I should have gotten my Sea Giant into play while I had the chance. I forgot things were going to be dying. That was a mistake, folks. I apologize. Anyway, we'll just trade the Ogre for the Harpy. I think that's fine. I probably didn't do the optimal move there. The optimal play, whatever it was, would have been to play the Sea Giant somehow, even if it meant throwing away a Violet Student. Alright, so his low curve is kind of catching up to him here. That's not a particularly relevant thing. That is a little bit annoying, admittedly. Okay, so if I play the Ogre, I'm out of room on the board. You know what, let's not dick around. Let's just play the Sea Giant. Well, it costs 1 mana. Let's burn that. Let's kill this. Let's kill that. Those Violet Students being pretty good. Okay, so you notice I'm really grinding this out. I'm not letting him keep a single creature on the board. And the reason for that is that I just want to take it easy. Did I have the win that turn? Oh, I might have had the win that turn. I'm sorry, folks. I might have had the win there. I did need to get past the grunt, but could I have done 10 more damage? I might have been able to deal 10 more damage. I think actually I had the win that turn, and I'm sorry. It's been a long time. I'm rusty, because I could have hit him for like 4 and then 3. I should have at least looked for the win. I just wasn't even thinking about it. But anyway, the point was, assuming I didn't have the win, I was taking my time clearing this board because my card advantage was so massive that I didn't see any reason to take any unnecessary risks and let him keep any creatures around whatsoever. He was playing with cards like Blessed Champion there that I wanted to, you know, not run into. Okay, so that was a good first start. Although it was a long game, it was a pretty comfortable game. I don't feel like I was ever really all that behind. Only Cure. So normally I am upset to play mages, but as a priest, I don't actually mind that much. I think mages is still a formidable ally, or formidable opponent. You shouldn't underestimate them. It's not going to be an easy game, but I would rather play priest than any other class if I am to be up against a mage. Okay. Well, Holy Smite could be nice. It's some insurance against Sorcerer's Apprentices. Unfortunately, it does not handle Mana Worms. Although Wild Pyromancer is pretty good here, it will tackle a Mana Worm. She doesn't have a Mana Worm on turn 1, which is like a freaking miracle. Now I have to remember that I'm having a Wild Pyromancer in play, which means Holy Smite will deal damage to it, which means that, you know, Fire Blast will cut it off. This is a very annoying play, the Loot Hoarder, because she's going to get card advantage, essentially. I mean, either I kill it with Holy Smite, and then it draws a card, or it kills my Pyromancer, and then it draws a card anyway. I can Holy Smite her face to kill the Loot Hoarder that way with my Pyromancer, but the problem then is that the Wild Pyromancer dies to hero ability. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swing by and just acknowledge card disadvantage, wasting the heal as well. I just, if I could have played Holy Smite and then healed this, I would have, but I couldn't. I didn't have enough mana. Hopefully I'll get card advantage back with Stormwind Knight. She likes to kill the Pyromancer rather than killing the Farseer. That does leave her with 3 mana to do as she wishes. And it looks like what she wishes to do is play the 4-drop she just top-decked off her Loot Hoarder, which is a Chillwind Yeti. Well, this is why it's a good thing I drafted a Dark Iron Dwarf, that is for sure. So my Farseer now trades up and kills the Yeti. I believe that was the correct move. I mean, you don't want to let the Yeti just kill your Dark Iron Dwarf. That seems silly. Next turn at 5 men, I can play the Sen'jin and then a Holy Smite perhaps, or a Stormwind Knight and a Holy Smite. She has 7 cards to my 5. I'm a bit behind, but I am the first player, so I should be. A little bit behind. She did get ahead, though, with that Loot Hoarder. Loot Hoarder is incredibly good when your opponent plays a 2 toughness creature and is not a druid, rogue, or mage. So she's going to enrage that. I would say that almost certainly that's a mistake for a number of reasons. Number 1, I can always heal it and kill it. Number 2, I can now Holy Smite it. So I have like my pick of ways of killing it. Now, if I heal it, I'm at 3 mana. That just lets me Thought Steal. I'd rather put a creature on the board, so we'll just go ahead and comfortably take care of this threat. I really don't think that was a good move by my opponent. As a general rule of thumb, I would say it's not wise to enrage your creatures as a mage like that, because, you know, it makes them more vulnerable to all kinds of different answers that they could have. I could have even killed it with a Stormwind Knight, you know. Anyway, she passed a turn there, essentially. For turn 4, play to be a Monty Berserker and enrage is very, very fortunate. There are many worse things that your opponent could drop down. Okay, so I got my Sen'jin here. This is a perfect top deck, because I could have played one of these guys, but I would rather Thought Steal and play something, and I can do that now. So we're going to Thought Steal a fucking overpowered Water Elemental, and we'll Fireball. That is an amazing Thought Steal to counteract the kind of crappy one I had against the Thought Steal. This is like the Thought Steal of the century. This is a freaking ridiculous broken card and a really good removal spell, so I'm happy about that. Unfortunately, with everything costing 4 mana, I'm a bit annoyed because next turn I have 7 mana, not 8, so I can only play one of these cards. It's extremely inefficient card use. It looks like that card that I use will in fact be Fireball. That is a pretty perfect answer to the Fen Creeper. Now, we could also play a Boulder Fist Ogre. I could also play a Stormwind Knight, run it in, run the Sen'jin in, heal my Sen'jin. And then my Sen'jin will survive a Flame Strike. So is it better to play the Ogre and hide behind my stuff? I think I'm actually going to get this Ogre down. Boy, I don't know. Hang on. So I could keep the board clear, just a simple Fireball. We'll keep the board clear. Yeah, let's just do Fireball. It sucks that I don't get to develop my board presence, and then I'm essentially passing on 3 mana. But, my goodness, that just seemed like a really good move, because now I can play 2 of these cards, and I've got a really nice board to deal with a lot of stuff she could play. Now, not everything. I couldn't, for example, deal with the Sunwalker super easily, but I mean, I've got answers to a lot of different things she could do. Plus, she could have played a Sunwalker last turn at 6 mana, so unless she top-decked it, she doesn't have any good 6-drops. She's a Blizzard. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm pretty thrilled to see a Blizzard there. That's her whole turn. She doesn't even have mana to kill off my Razorfen Hunter, and now I will be pretty happy just to play this. Okay, so I can heal the Hunter to stop it from dying to Hero ability, or I could heal the Sen'jin to stop it from dying to Flame Strike. I will heal the Hunter because Flame Strike here keeps the Boulder Fist Ogre alive and takes up her entire turn. I hit her for 6 and play a second Ogre, and then she's like in serious trouble. So I'd rather play around the Hero ability than around the Flame Strike. Well, she's got a lot of removal, this mage. There's a Polymorph. She'll need a second one, though, to deal with that Ogre, or a Fireball. I guess there was a Fireball in her deck, so she could have that, potentially. Still, if she kills this sheep, she'll be at 2 mana for the turn, and I've got a decent board presence after that. So I'd say she's pretty far behind, honestly. I haven't had the vegetable water dripping with no vegetables bug in a while, so cross your fingers. Hopefully that will continue to be the case. Jungle Panther, not impressive at all there. Sea Giant, well, it's even better than an Ogre because, in fact, I can play a creature. Make the Sea Giant cheaper. I'm going to play the Sea Giant. So always keep an eye on variable mana costs. If you have a card whose mana costs can change, always just, you know, think about that. Think about what will happen to the mana cost as you make your moves. Because it looked like I couldn't play this and the Sea Giant, because 4 plus 6 would have been 10, but I actually could. So she's used her Polymorph on an Ogre, and that's kind of good to see because Polymorph does not work, or sorry, Fireball doesn't actually work on Sea Giant. The Sea Giant stays at 2 health. She does have a second Polymorph, but I mean, have an Ogre here, and still have all this board presence. The Panther just trades. Okay, so she's going to draw a card, but that's fine. Okay, let me look for the win now. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Don't dick around. Let's just get the kill. Oh, I should have gotten the killing blow with the sheep, but anyway, it's not too important. Well played. Alright, so thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and or subscribe. It's good to be back, folks. And I will be back again with another video and the rest of the games to this run. I'll see you shortly.